15 years before it happened, The Simpsons whispered something absurd, and then it became reality. A cartoon joke, a one-liner, but behind it, a shiver-inducing glimpse into the future. In Season 11, Episode 17, Lisa speaks calmly. We've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. The camera holds on her face just a second longer than it should. Intentional or fate? At the time, it felt like satire pushed to its absolute limit, too ridiculous to worry. But what if that scene wasn't a joke? What if it was a warning in disguise? The episode aired in March 2000, a world untouched by iPhones, Twitter, or Trump Tower politics. And yet somehow, this cartoon saw everything coming not vaguely, but with haunting, surgical precision. Not just Trump winning, but the chaos, the bankruptcy, the cultural fracture he'd leave behind, and Lisa, dressed in purple, calm, presidential, like she was chosen to clean up the fallout. That color choice wasn't random in politics. Purple means unity, or a war barely avoided. Could a single scene from a yellow cartoon hold the DNA of a divided future? Or were we too busy laughing to notice the blueprint drawn in chalk and pixels? Because The Simpsons didn't just reference Trump, it predicted the entire vibe of his presidency. And if they were right about that, what else have they seen that we've ignored? Look closer at that episode, not just what's said, but what's shown behind the dialogue. The White House, distorted by age, security guards standing awkwardly, flags drooping like tired ideologies. Everything feels slightly wrong, like a dream where the details are real, but the logic isn't. Trump wasn't even a serious political figure in 2000. He was still a brand, a punchline. So why did the writers give him that spotlight? Why plant that name in the timeline? And why make Lisa the one to inherit the chaos, as if balancing karma itself? When you rewatch it now, it doesn't feel like satire. It feels like a countdown. Like someone in that writer's room knew something, or was channeling something they couldn't explain. It's the same energy anime fans feel when a character hints at a future arc. Will regret, the type of foreshadowing that chills you. Even if you don't understand it yet, you can laugh. But a lot of people did, right up until election night in 2016, when states flipped, and anchors stammered, and that old Simpsons clip started going viral again. Wait, didn't The Simpsons predict this? It became more than a meme. It became a cultural awakening. Suddenly, the world felt scripted not by humans, but by something far older and yellow-skinned. And just like that, one cartoon joke became the prophecy that refused to stay in fiction. Fast forward to 2016. Trump stands on that golden escalator, waving like royalty. Reborn cameras flash. Crowds cheer. But we've seen this before in ink, in color, in Springfield. An eerily similar scene played out years earlier in a Simpsons episode, frame by frame. Same posture, same escalator, same awkward hand wave. Even the signs behind him match perfectly. At first, you might think it's coincidence, but how many coincidences stack before it becomes design? The Simpsons didn't just predict a president. They storyboarded the mood, the moment, the madness. You start to question everything. How did they know which symbols would define a decade? And if they got this right, what else did they encode into our Saturday morning memories? What if Springfield isn't just a town but a mirror, angled slightly toward the future? It's the same feeling anime fans get when the opening song hides clues we missed for years. Suddenly, every rewatch feels like a puzzle, and you're not watching cartoons, you're decrypting prophecy, and maybe, just maybe, these aren't predictions, but warnings wrapped in laughter and sugar-coated satire. They joked about America electing a showman, but did they also see what came after? Division? Anger? Tweets like nuclear warheads? Reality TV bleeding into the White House press briefings. Lisa's purple suit wasn't just wardrobe. It was foreshadowing of a country stitched back together, or torn apart. You stare at those frames now. The purple suit, the Trump moment, the broken world, and a strange question starts whispering inside your head. Were we ever in control at all? Maybe this was never just satire. Maybe it was a reflection cast from a deeper timeline. Every Simpsons episode feels different now, like old scrolls disguised as Saturday night entertainment. Could this be more than fiction? A warning system? A pop culture crystal ball we never understood? The Trump presidency wasn't the punchline, it was the setup for something far more haunting. Because if they saw that coming, then what about the things they've shown after? AI rebellion, dome-covered cities, economic collapse, presidents replaced by algorithms in suits. You start to wonder, are we watching predictions, or are we watching someone write the script? That's the part that hits different, like discovering your favorite anime is based on real events. You laugh, then freeze, because you've seen that subplot. And it didn't end well. Maybe The Simpsons isn't just ahead of time. Maybe it exists outside of it. Maybe Springfield is the real fourth wall, and we're the ones trapped in the punchline. Because every time we think it's just a coincidence, the timeline bends again and proves us wrong. And suddenly, that yellow cartoon doesn't feel so funny. It feels prophetic. Maybe that's the real magic of The Simpsons, not just prediction, but reflection made visible. A world so absurd, it feels impossible, until it slowly becomes your everyday. Pixel by pixel, what started as a joke about a rich man with golden towers became our actual history. And behind every laugh track, there was a quiet whisper. This already happened, you just didn't notice. The truth was always yellow-tinted, hiding beneath slapstick gags and chalkboard jokes we never questioned. But now, you can't unsee it. The escalator, the suit, the collapse, the chaos. And most haunting of all, the calm face of Lisa Simpson, cleaning up a cartoon apocalypse. It's like she knew the future, or maybe she was built to inherit it. So what happens next? Do we dismiss it again? Or do we finally start looking closer? Because every time we laugh something off, the world shifts just a little further into the cartoon. It's no longer just a show. It's a record, a mirror, a blueprint for collapse. Or maybe it's hope, hidden in satire, a warning wrapped in yellow to wake us up. Maybe that's why you're here, watching this, questioning everything you thought you knew about fiction, because deep down, a part of you feels it too. They weren't just writing a show, they were documenting a timeline we're only just beginning to understand.